Welcome to the Pianos. That's a piano store. They used to have a different location, Piano Mill in Rockland, where they had one of Liberace's pianos in the store.
Wow.
That I guess they just had rented or something. Anyway, fuck that place.
I'm fronting right now. I don't know what that means.
Liberace?
Yeah.
I honestly don't even really know who Liberace is either. I just know that he's like an iconic performer and pianist.
Oh, it sounded like something I should know, so I was going to pretend I knew, but then
I think he's just like...
know.
Yeah, he's just like a super famous like songwriter or performer.
Oh, wow.
I honestly don't know fucking anything about Liberace. I just know he's a big deal to old people.
He sounds like a big deal.
Yeah. Welcome to the last episode of the Boston Art Podcast ever. You read my mind.
It's not the last episode ever.
It's
We're
not.
lying.
But you know what it is it's our January 6th Capitol riot insurrection anniversary episode.
No. Oh my god, I was reading
it's
about
an American holiday.
I was reading about that all day today
Independence Day.
Online.
Yeah, so
Can you believe that happened?
Yeah, we're recording on January 6th, and this is getting released January 7th, so we're a little off the mark.
This has nothing to do with the fucking Capitol riot.
No, we're actually pro-Capitol riot.
No, stop.
I was there.
Shut up. You can't just say shit like that. You're like, you can't post...
I was in the building.
Anything about me being canceled. You're fucking canceling yourself right now.
Obviously, anybody listening knows that I'm joking.
Obviously, anybody on my Facebook friends list would know if I just posted, Brian Huntress is canceled.
No, very different. And we weren't in a relationship at the time that you said that. Like, we didn't even, like, know each other for that long. When you decide...
Like 4 days before I was going to post that.
Yeah, like anyway. Oh my god. You know what I saw on my TikTok feed the other day that was like made me feel like so bad about myself, but it was a really funny TikTok.
Wow, relatable. Go on.
Right. Yeah, like every TikTok I see every day. But it was a TikTok. It was somebody, I forget what it was, but it was a guy making fun. Oh, you know what it was? It was a Grimes audio of Grimes like just saying some like, you know, just crazy shit that the type of crazy shit she posts.
Yeah.
And it was a guy like sitting there with headphones on, and it just said every podcast ever. And it was just like, anyway.
It's true.
But all of the comments were the thing that made me feel like shit, where they were like, yeah, man, podcasts fucking suck. Like, I don't want to listen to fucking anything that isn't high quality audio where they just fucking talk about nothing and it's all inside jokes and it sucks and like...
I've never had a friend. I don't like when things are fun. I have no attention span, and I suck.
Yeah.
Steven Universe profile pic. I'm 14.
Also, I'm 14.
I go to high school in Weymouth.
But, yeah, no, I was just like, man, I wonder how many podcast stereotypes that we unknowingly embody.
Well, I know a lot of the ones we embody, so probably a lot.
Yeah.
Or maybe not that many by that logic. Maybe we're fully self-aware.
If we became really popular and had just like infinite clout podcast-wise, would you have Grimes on the podcast?
No.
Are you fucking kidding me? I would interview Grimes without you if you said no.
Well, I mean, if you got...
I'd be like, you know what? Sit it out then. I'm going to do it.
No, I guess I would.
Good. That's the spirit.
If she said yes, I'd be like, all right.
I would do it. I'd be like, yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't seek out an interview with Grimes, though.
I would. I absolutely would, I think.
She seems like the kind of person who, like, as soon as you start talking to her, it would not be a fun interview anymore.
I don't know. You know who... we've talked a lot about this, and I think we had an off-air conversation about this, but we were talking about Channel 5, the YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I feel very inspired by that guy because he will literally interview fucking anybody on Earth, and it just he isn't like platforming horrible people or something, but he just interviews the most insane, fucked up, crazy people.
That's true.
But in like this incredibly tasteful way, and he's not even like making fun of them. Like, you know who he literally posted an interview with today?
Who?
The fucking QAnon shaman.
Really?
Shaman.
Wow.
From prison.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How does he get access to people
I know.
like this?
That's like the magic of him, is that he has access to literally anybody. He's a ridiculously good interviewer.
No, you know what? I'm full of shit. I would totally interview Grimes.
Right?
If Grimes said yeah.
I'd interview fucking Donald
I think
Trump.
it's fun to...
Okay, obviously I don't want to hang out with fucking Trump or respect him, but if like that's like asking like, "Oh, do you want $1 billion for free?" Like, obviously, like if
No.
our nobody, no listener podcast got to interview somebody that famous, I would do it just for the, just for the leverage.
No. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think so.
Am I stressing you out?
Yeah. What the fuck? Because then it doesn't
We're
even
interviewing
matter.
Trump!
It doesn't even matter who the person is. Why are you so, like, QAnon today? What's up with you?
I was
at the Capitol!
I was about to say, actually, I joined, oh my god, what the fuck? Why are all these
What
people
is that
beeping?
noise?
Somebody has a fucking train horn on,
That was
on their
insane.
car.
Wow, I wonder if the listener could hear that.
But yeah, I joined QAnon.
When I say the listener, I picture, like, Slender Man.
Just like
The listener.
the Slender Man in the middle of the woods with a suit on, and like
Slender Man so much today.
Slender Man with like AirPods and then in the middle of the forest listening to us.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
like
my
the
God.
creepiest thing in the world.
Do you remember the Slender Man murders?
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah, I do. I remember that.
Who just high beamed us? What? What's wrong?
That was a car accident behind us.
Are you serious?
Yeah, somebody just hit a telephone pole. Did you see the sparks just shot down from the electrical
That was
wires?
what that was?
Yeah, dude.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Yeah, somebody just fucking rocked a pole, dude.
Should we turn around?
I actually am right now. Bro, that was a fucking
That's
car
what that
accident.
was?
Yeah. Wow, that was like an electric blue glow behind us and sparks flying down from the pole.
Should we stop recording?
If there's an injury and we are called to action, then we'll stop recording, absolutely. Because that would be pretty weird to record, probably.
What the fuck?
Huh. Also, for anybody wondering, I obviously didn't join QAnon. I do not support QAnon. Where did they hit that? Did you fucking like...
Are you sure that's what that...
I am 100% sure that's what happened.
Yeah, that is what happened. They're right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's a downed line.
wait.
And they hit a pole. Don't look. Oh, man.
There's nobody in it.
Okay, they're safe.
Jesus.
I feel like I should put a trigger warning on this episode.
Maybe we should just take that out.
We're like Slender Man, car accidents, QAnon. I have to turn around now again, just because. Anyway. No, it's okay. Everybody in that situation seemed safe, but it did look pretty.
Yeah, there was nobody in the car anymore. And
Yeah.
they got out on their own.
And they're
Ruined their night.
they've definitely ruined their car.
That was fucked up.
Yeah.
Also, is there a power line in the street right now?
It looked like it was on the mulch and on the fence. There was a lot of people
That's
around.
What that light was? Holy
That's what that
shit.
light was, yeah.
I literally thought someone was right behind us, high beaming us.
I thought that too, but I looked in the mirror and saw all the sparks coming down from the pole.
What the fuck?
Ooh. Yeah, but there is a lot of people around them now, and it's right in front of a hockey rink and a bar, and there's a lot of people there, so it seems as though the situation is taken care of. And we would probably
There's
not.
something in the street.
I don't think we could really help these people. I think these people have enough help. So, I don't think there's anything in the street. Oh, man. Yeah, there's a hockey game, so I think, yeah, they're good. That's a bummer. A little bit of a vibe kill, but I'm good. How you feeling?
I'm good.
You're good? Yeah. All right, onward.
Nobody was hurt, just very inconvenienced, probably.
Yeah, that's the fucking worst, man. Anyway, but yeah, shout out to Slender Man.
We invoked his name.
Maybe that's why that happened.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right.
Bad take.
Okay, let's wipe the slate clean Okay, maybe that's a long enough intro. Maybe we could get to the...
Welcome to the Boston Art Podcast.
Welcome to the
where we talk art, culture, and philosophy.
Well, what about we have something very special planned.
Oh, yeah.
For this. I don't know how long this is going to go or how much we're going to talk about each item on the docket. But the plan today because this is a very special anniversary. We didn't say any of this.
Oh my god.
So this is...
You're talking about the fucking Capitol riot. Like, that's the biggest deal that happened
I just think that's a funny thing to talk about, honestly. Just because it's the most fucking insane shit post that, like, fate has ever created. Anyway. Fuck, what was I about to say? Oh! So, it's the 1 year anniversary of the podcast.
Yeah.
1 year ago today, we posted the first episode. Isn't that some shit?
Or
yeah, no, January. Oh, yeah. Well, so tomorrow is the anniversary, but to the listener, it's the anniversary.
That's cool.
Of the podcast. So, thank you to everybody who listens and everything. But our plan for today is to actually review and discuss all of the episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much we can say specifically about each one, but should we start with the intro?
Sure.
What are your thoughts about the intro? Maybe should we listen to like a second of it or something, or?
Sure. How should we do this? Can I connect to your Bluetooth?
Yeah. You
Should I just play it?
Yeah, just play it, point it at the phone or something.
All right. Should I just jump into wherever?
Fuck it. I don't know.
I'm 53 minutes in. Apparently, I left it there. So let's see what that's about.
Yeah, let's see how far you got.
Yeah. All right.
Therapist told me that jumping through all of those hoops all the time was legitimately putting my mental health and physical health at risk.
Okay, well...
What were you talking about?
I don't know.
My therapist told me that jumping through all those mental hoops was putting my life at risk.
So the thing about that that's weird is I don't remember what I was referring to, and I'm not saying I lied, but, like, what was I talking about?
Play a little bit more. Turn the volume up. Or skip to a different part. You don't have to play that part. It's okay. Is your volume all the way up?
Dubious. Yes, I don't know why I was
Oh, okay, that's okay. I'll lean in.
Or if I guess we've said a lot of things that are things that went wrong for us. And I don't want to come off like we know or that I know personally the right way to be an artist in Boston, because full transparency, I am currently unemployed for the first time in a long time, to be fair, but because of the pandemic. My most recent application that I'm most excited about is to be a crew member at Trader Joe's.
Oh my god.
I've been selling commissions since I was about 12 or 13 years old, but it hasn't really done a lot as far as that goes. And what I really decided...
Oh my god, you were monologuing right now.
About this a little bit earlier, also back, is that separating my financial situation from my artistic development and growth, although much easier said than done, is my goal personally. I'm living, obviously, in a capitalist society. I cannot be an entrepreneur and an anti-capitalist at the same time.
Oh my god!
Just pause it. Just skip to a part with me. Maybe I said something horrible.
And like one class a semester.
This is just you. You're the only...
Ultra-ripped condoms. Triple tested and
awesome.
We have a condom ad on our podcast.
Get yours on.
To possibly older listeners who think that we're fucking like idiots right now, probably. If there's anyone that's like older than 40 listening to us right now,
Older than like 27,
yeah,
probably.
they probably think we're like fucking stupid. And
I'll
that's
probably
okay.
think that in like 6 months.
Sounds
I don't
so
care.
stupid.
Yeah, that's how it's
know.
supposed to be.
Why?
Supposed
You
to
haven't
have
even
no
said
worry.
anything yet.
My
Yeah.
voice sounds
I don't know,
stupid.
though.
Like my
That's
intonation
interesting, though.
is stupid.
Is there is the off chance? I don't think that this is
That's
my
not true.
target demographic, but there is the chance that there's people listening that have no idea how to make a portfolio or are considering going to art school.
I'm
Yes.
so far
Or
away
who
from
have
the mic.
recently applied or have recently arrived at art school, or et cetera, who are very much not begun that none of the things we're saying could have occurred to them.
Another thing too is
Because
that
wait, hold on a second. Before you start that,
Okay.
can we...
Shut up!
So, you told me one
We
time
were
Sorry.
really, we were both really bad about
how
that
you
point.
said
We were
that
wicked
there were
tense.
people that told
Yeah.
you that school was bullshit.
Alright, pause this shit. I don't want to listen to my dumbass self. Interesting. So that's really interesting, the angle that we had. Like, it seemed like we felt like we were addressing Because, like, whenever we're interviewing somebody, I always say something along the lines of, like, well, you know, the type of person that listens to our podcast might be interested to know, like, I fucking know. But, like, I have no fucking idea who is listening or what the audience, like, is interested in at all. But it seems like we felt like we were talking to, like, art school college freshmen.
That's weird.
That is kind of odd, isn't it?
We also sounded like we were really trying to seem legitimate.
Yeah.
At least I was.
I was too.
That was probably earlier in the episode when we hadn't had a meltdown and got tea and gone in bed yet.
So that was actually, I think, episode 2.
Really?
Yeah,
oh,
play the fucking next one.
Okay.
Play the next one. Let's see what we got.
Well, any thoughts on the introduction?
Dude, it's just crazy to think that we've only been doing this together for 1 year and how far we've come and how we create this, because we were so nervous at the time and we didn't know how to, like, I think I was just ignorant to a lot of media things. Like, I just didn't understand how I was coming across. I didn't understand, like, there's a lot I didn't understand. And I feel like there was also a lot of pressure on you, because obviously I was like, I know everything about this, because that's how I think about everything. But
I'm glad you did, though. We wouldn't have the podcast if you hadn't been like that.
But looking back in the adventure that we've been on in this past year with the podcast specifically, I have learned a fucking ridiculous amount of things that I truly did not understand.
Yeah.
About art, about media, about engaging with an audience in any capacity, about how do you treat new people that you just met for the first time, that you might not agree with or you don't know a lot about. How do you respect and love and empathize with that person? Like, I had no fucking idea what the fuck I was talking about.
Yeah.
Like, because, like, there's also the lost tape first episode with the guy that we interviewed impromptu. I don't know if we want to talk about him specifically, but we recorded a egregiously bad interview with some random fucking guy. Basically, and it came out like dog shit, and for some reason I decided not to do audio. I did video, so the file is like 8 gigabytes, which makes it
you're talking about that one.
Yeah.
Oh, the first episode.
Exactly. Yeah, that we maybe anyway, whatever, but we just didn't know what the fuck was going on, man. We were like afraid of that guy.
That was a weird situation all around, but it was
complex. Yeah.
They seemed like a really phenomenal artist. We just were in way too deep over our heads and had no idea how to set this up, and also weren't planning on meeting this person. We just kind of stumbled across their studio, asked to come in, and he happened to be there alone and just showed us around with like a feverish, excited energy for like an hour, and then we left. But it was also in the middle of COVID, and it was just in person and very sudden, and we were not prepared.
It was scary, and he was like an older guy too, so he seemed like, this is like such a weird thing to say, but I feel like everyone's gonna know what I'm talking about, but like older men or old people don't think it's inappropriate to like touch your shoulder or be like, yeah, buddy, or something.
Yeah.
Like, but so they just like, they'll just do that.
Yeah.
Like, or they'll grab your arm and not like, but I feel like young people, or maybe not even just young people, but people that aren't old guys know that that's usually inappropriate, even if you're doing it in a totally fucking friendly way. Anyway,
it's true.
So
it's
it's not trauma informed, it's not pro-social, and it's not COVID safe.
That was happening.
I just said a lot of stupid fancy words there, but I do think that in certain settings you should be trauma informed. And I don't think that means knowing a lot about trauma. I think that means not touching people's arms.
We know what you mean. You're correct.
Okay. That's all. Not trying to make any... Whatever. Anyway. All right. What the fuck is episode 2?
Episode 2. You didn't ask me what I thought about the introduction.
What did you think about the introduction?
I thought it sucked. I thought
really?
it was bad.
Do you think
I think it was cute, but I think came on real strong with the oversharing and the like deep takes on art school. It was clumsy and cute, but it does not reflect the way that I see things now.
Who the fuck knows what we said on that? I hope one day we get enough money so that we could just like maybe like ask some person to just like just transcribe every episode into writing. Can you imagine if we could do that somehow?
That would be sick.
So we could just flip through it and be like, oh, wow, I can't believe I fucking said that. Or like PDF search it or something.
I know, Word
That
doc.
would literally be fucking amazing.
So episode 2, oddly enough, I thought this was way later, is Intersection of Art and Sport.
That sounds like dog shit.
Brian and Theo discuss a whole bunch of things, including art school, art making, oil painting, New England, skateboarding, and other creative sports.
I'm fucking stupid.
Want to jump in?
Yeah, what did I say?
Let's see. Let's go here.
Okay. So what is it, 15
but
minutes
I mean,
in?
like...
I'm like cottagecore and you're like jail.
I just really am okay with not... Like, as long as I have soap, clean water, food, internet, a fucking bed.
Well,
like, I don't really mind if it looks like shit or if it's cold or if there's ants. It's okay.
What the fuck am I talking about?
Your apartment.
I think the bar should be a tiny smidge higher.
I love how I'm like, as long as I have water, food, Wi-Fi.
I know, you're taking it a little extreme.
Like, that was like kind of like, those are luxuries in themselves if you think about it.
True, but you need them to work.
You're saying the wrong...
That's true.
I'm fucking delusional.
Right, yeah, true.
You're like, I'm being ridiculous. I don't need Wi-Fi, actually.
That is what I've been coming to. I do have a family friend contacted me recently with a really great job offer. And it was super, super kind of her to do, and I'm going to apply to it just to see if it's a good fit. But what I've really been thinking is like, and that's why I think I feel guilty about it, because I have this other amazing opportunity, but it would take up a lot of my energy in the sense that it would be a job I'd really be applying myself to, or would really apply myself to, and it would be like an 8-hour a day real.
This is a podcast about my work life. I
Well,
talk
that
about
was
that every episode.
Well, it's a big deal to you. It's an important thing.
True, I guess.
You know what's a big thing too is like the evolution of our communication.
Yeah.
Also, I think we were really blessed because for the first few months we were talking to each other and just being friends and shit was during quarantine. Mm-hmm. So we weren't hanging out in person at all, but we were talking on the phone all the time. Which something we talked about a whole bunch is that, like, I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast, but the reason that was like a unique challenge is because we didn't have the ability to hug or to see each other emote or to or anything. Like, we weren't sharing the same space physically. So we were relying only on our ability to fucking communicate.
Which is also, I don't know why we did this, but in retrospect, it's kind of weird, actually. We never FaceTimed, really.
It's probably because I fucking, like despise FaceTime.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm fucking weird. I hate FaceTime sometimes. It hurts my arms.
What?
I hate holding the phone up to my face.
You have a tripod.
Yeah, but you can't, like, lay in bed with a tripod.
You could with the arm crank tripod you have over your desk right now.
That's a pretty fucking gnarly tripod. But I didn't have that during quarantine. I probably could do that with that thing. I fucking love that thing.
I interrupted your point, though, about communication.
Oh, no, I guess it's just interesting to hear how we used to talk versus now. Like, I mean, we're obviously a million times more comfortable with each other than we were then.
Yeah.
But that probably shows on the podcast a lot, too.
That's really crazy, because we hadn't even been friends for a year yet. What the fuck? Am I lying?
I don't know. We could do the math. I mean, I feel like we connected in a meaningful way for the first time.
This was January of 2020.
Yeah, and that we started in for the first
2021.
time. Yeah, in April of 2020.
So it hadn't been a year.
What is that, like? Fuck. 6 months? 7 months.
Are you
I mean,
sure?
fuck! Shit, 8 months.
8
Damn
months? 8 months from April to January?
No, I don't know. I'm gonna kill myself. Sorry, podcast. I didn't mean to mention suicide.
It's 9 months, actually.
It's 9? Okay.
Wait.
All right, well, I'm a fucking idiot and I don't know how to do math.
It's nine.
Sorry.
I counted on my fingers. Yeah. We also have talked about communication a lot on the podcast, and I think that, in a way, the podcast is responsible for us bettering our communication.
Yeah.
If right now we were recording an episode and you interrupted me like you did in the pilot, I would be livid. I'd be so mad. You never do that now.
What did I say? How did I interrupt you? I was like...
You just, wait!
Wait!
And then just said something else.
Well, I think that I wanted to finish whatever I was saying.
Yeah, but come on.
But I was like, wait!
Stop!
Shut up! I wonder if anyone's ever, like, listened to, like, an episode like that and been like, what the fuck? Like, that was so rude. Probably.
I'm sure I said stupid shit, too.
Like, you're, like, making this point and I'm, like, yawning in the background. Like some asshole.
Oh.
Anyway.
You never meant it like that, though.
Yeah. What's the next episode?
I
want to talk about the guests.
I want to talk about your personal development, though.
What?
You're like, I don't need anything. I can live in a cave with ants.
I'm an idiot.
I don't give a shit. All I need is Wi-Fi. And I'm like, well, actually, and you're like, no, I'm wrong. I don't need Wi-Fi.
I don't remember the context of why I was saying that, but I'm sure that it was stupid.
We can find out.
I guarantee that was a stupid
That's
point.
What makes a great artist. Sometimes, like, I feel like there's a lot of examples of people who are really great, like, famous athletes.
I sound like a
Michael
fucking
Jordan. He,
douche.
like, literally, like, eats, sleeps, and breathes and dies
Skip
by
this.
a basket.
I'm
That
gonna
one
kill
thing,
myself.
Modernism. Just kidding. But, like, you know what I mean? So, like, I kind of feel like, I don't know, man. If I was an artist...
If you were an artist.
If I was an artist and I was listening to a podcast by artists...
Yeah.
And they literally only talked about art, I might get bored of it.
That's true.
I might get bored of it. I don't know, man. Like,
This isn't the part we were
it depends on the
musicians.
I lost it. I
That's
don't
a
know.
different thing.
Maybe I
or
scrubbed.
lack thereof. Like, when I...
Bar is such a huge environment. Anxious about wasting things.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's, like, kind of...
All right, let's go to the next episode.
Fuck
Let's
this
go to the
one.
next
Jesus
episode.
Christ, I sounded stupid.
No, that's not true.
You know what I think?
I sounded stupid in the last
Yeah.
one.
No, it's okay.
We've changed a lot since
We probably
last
sound
year.
stupid every episode.
Probably.
Yeah, we have changed significantly.
Damn.
Commission, stress, and vulnerability. That's
Wow,
the one
that
where
one's
we.
gonna be so
that's
bad.
when we bickered and then had to shut it off and then started again.
Really?
That's the one, yeah, because we talked all about vulnerability and how blah blah blah. I think this was a breakthrough episode for us.
Where did we fight? I want to hear the fight.
Well, play it and find out. It had to be at least halfway.
Oh, it's not going.
Oh, what was? Is the service bad?
I don't know.
This might be
Shit.
a issue
Responsibility
of.
for making
Oh,
sure that you're okay.
oh yeah.
Which is a lot.
Oh, this is the one with the T.
I don't know what
We
the
freaked
reason
it.
was.
Wait, this week?
The last 2 weeks. Like, why we didn't record backlog. We just kind of...
I think because, honestly...
We're much closer to the mic this time.
Exactly. That's why I think.
We had
Yeah.
already freaked out. We're in
Yeah.
bed at this point.
Yeah. Come on.
That you're trying to...
Yeah,
might
okay.
not be seeing
Fuck,
any
this
money
is
from it.
embarrassing.
Or some, I don't know, like just some guy artist.
Did we get in a
maybe
fight with
that
each other?
actually
No,
supports them.
maybe.
And the proceeds will benefit them almost entirely, and it is the way that they wanted to go a little further. What are you saying?
It's fun. That's just like a nice thing to do.
I don't even mean like that. I just mean like
Oh.
seeing these random nameless pieces at yard sales and stuff. I genuinely like doing that, collecting old photos and stuff. But it is
Yeah,
really...
that's not the same as paintings. I'm talking about like collecting art and paintings. Photos is a
hell am I
totally
talking
different
about?
conversation. Secondhand photos.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking about both.
Oh no.
Oh.
We're fighting.
Photography's art too. I
Yeah.
was just saying, if you don't have a venue that is a place to start to see what your aesthetic is, but if you're trying to support the actual artist financially, the best way to go is probably just contacting them directly.
Right.
Um,
Yep.
yeah.
Brian.
And then that's for buying works that are done.
Yup, that's fucking bullshit.
Like, what do you prefer when someone's going to commission you?
I don't give a fuck about.
It either has to be open to interpretation.
What happened to you?
I think I just was upset about
somebody
something. I
is-
don't remember.
Like, we just scrubbed back like 2 minutes and you sounded totally fine and you sound pissed now.
I think that we like had a tendency to
Derail each other's points.
panic and then talk over each other, or just completely actually not listen to each other.
Yeah.
And just say some alternative point that
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with what the other had just said.
That did happen a couple times, that one of us was making one point and the other one would make a jumping off point, and we would make so many like whys off of the initial thread of conversation that we both just got confused and mad.
Yeah. Another thing too, we were also really scared of saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Of like saying something that would make people mad at us or think we were stupid or horrible people or something.
We both were.
Do you feel like just you were or just I was?
I feel like we talked about it a lot at the time, like just I was. Or I talked about it a lot at the time.
Well, it wasn't just you. I mean, I don't know. I feel the same way about certain, like, you know, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, compared to now, like...
We're both much more comfortable now.
Yeah, and I'm also not really as scared of, like, being offensive or something. That doesn't mean that, like, I want to, like, what are you triggered? Like, that's not like that at all. But I'm not, like, afraid that someone's going to listen to us.
Have you never seen the Scooby-Doo live-action movie?
What the fuck? I don't know. Yeah?
You have so much, I think, Coolsville sucks content coming out of this episode right now.
Okay, if somebody cropped out...
I'm gonna do it.
If somebody made a compilation
I'm gonna make a compilation of Brian saying QAnon shit.
That would be so fucking funny. I'm gonna just make my own QAnon video. Anyway,
what the fuck?
I'm just kidding. I obviously am not QAnon. But,
I obviously am not QAnon.
But I guess... Alright, whatever.
I want to hear where we make up.
And then you're mad at the end of
As the world begins
there's an ad.
and travel plans get back onto calendars, what felt normal before
Stop!
Skip the ad. Just hit
automatically raise. Some things
What the fuck?
Bro, skip them.
You're 10 or more.
So that's the reason. Because if you have a piece and you finished it in person studio and people on commission.
I remember why I was mad at you.
You know what we should talk about instead of art commissions and fucking art and Boston? We should talk about stress.
We're in bed now.
Because
You don't.
Probably should. I don't know. Yup. Real fun and cool.
Brian.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I don't know, man. Ah, Jesus fucking Christ.
What's up?
Nothing. I don't know.
Nothing.
I'm just losing steam.
Okay.
I don't know. What else is going on?
I'm fine.
Fucking fine.
Fuck this shit.
I'm like,
I don't know.
You know what I was mad about? Is that, you know what you used to do?
What?
I don't want to, I'm not trying to be a jerk.
Do
you
it.
don't do this
Say it.
anymore ever, though.
Oh, really?
But sometimes you used to just, it was like you got really nervous and uptight, and then you would talk for like 15 minutes straight, and then get mad when I interjected.
Yeah, that's true.
That was really interesting.
That was interesting.
Well, you know what it was similar to? Oh, I love you so much. I'm putting you in the hot seat.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm not trying to put you in the hot seat.
I'm not actually mad at you.
I feel so
It's
bad.
okay.
If you got upset, I would feel so bad.
No,
But
it's okay. I did do that. I remember doing that.
But our infamous deleted episode where we interviewed the douchebag guy.
Oh my god.
So,
that fucking kid.
okay. But how you felt when that happened is how I felt like maybe sometimes you felt about me when I interrupted you.
No.
Well, I know not like you thought I was like that, but I'm saying a similar energy.
I get what you're saying, but
no, that's different.
it was different because that person literally, the reason that we canceled the episode among other things was because there was just complete disrespect coming from that person.
Towards you specifically.
Yeah. On a gender basis.
Right. Seemed like some sexism and
based on like things he was actually just saying to me.
Yeah.
So that's very different because you never were. I think there were times that I was mad at you because, all right, to be fucking fair, you weren't as good at communicating at the time. Sometimes
I was a fucking perfect communicator.
Sometimes you would just randomly be kind of an asshole.
What? Sometimes you'd randomly be an asshole.
That is true. That's also fair.
That's true. Cut.
Beep.
Let's walk that back a little bit. So we just time traveled. We're now how long did we pause the recording?
Like 45 minutes.
Like an hour, 45 minutes an hour.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We got Kentucky Fried Chicken.
We got KFC because things got off the rails and we talked about a bunch of stuff that we didn't want to talk about.
Yeah, we just overshared a little bit.
We overshared because something that we didn't know would happen that is now happening to us is that as we listen to these old recordings and discuss these things, our brains are like emotionally relitigating the things that we felt at the time that we recorded these recordings.
Yeah.
So we're re-feeling some feelings right now that are pretty stressful, you know. And Theo asked me to say, backstage,
I did.
with a gun to my head right
What?
now.
I don't even know what you're about to say. I didn't ask you to say anything.
I'm just kidding. But you're not an asshole. And you weren't an asshole back then.
You're not an asshole
I'm putting you on
either.
the spot right now.
You're not an asshole either. I didn't mean that.
I love you.
I love you too.
You're so sweet.
What?
Are you fucking crying?
No.
Are you serious? I love you.
We were fighting in the Kentucky Fried Chicken drive-thru line. You went through the line again to get me corn.
Oh, are you? You wanted corn, and we forgot to get it the first time we went through the line. I love you. Oh, no.
I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love you. Everything's great.
You are pure of heart.
I also threw...
You threw mashed potatoes out of the car window.
But I fucked up and just threw them all over the car.
And you threw them all over the interior of the
my
car.
hair and then the interior of Brian's car, and I didn't mean to. And then I had to use the wet wipes that I got you for Christmas to clean up the car.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird Christmas present out of context.
It's okay.
I'm over explaining again.
Well, they're just face wipes. Because I get sweaty and then, like, don't shower for, like, a few hours after I was sweaty.
Not just like all the time, like when you're exercising.
Yeah, like if I go out and do something active, then I'm all sweaty. It's good to have the wipes to, you know.
I just get
like,
super fucking sweaty, so I just carry wipes on me
fucking
all the
get
time.
soaked and, you know, some people do.
That's true.
Um,
No shade if you do.
But, yo.
I actually have a sweating problem sometimes. It's only in my armpits though, and I get really anxious and I sweat through my whole shirt.
Are you aware that sweating is like a completely normal human
No, it's more than that.
thing?
It's like so much.
Like fucking dripping.
Actually, yeah, sometimes.
I love how you feel like this isn't personal or private information.
I don't give a fuck about
But
this.
the whole conversation we had before this was about oversharing on the podcast.
What's different?
We had an off-air blowout
No, we didn't.
where you threw potatoes in my face, punched me, screamed at me in front of a bunch of people. None of that's
Stop
true.
it.
I'm lying.
I'm not allowed to say you're canceled on Facebook, but you can say that I punched you and threw mashed potatoes at you at Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I'm in QAnon.
Oh my god.
I love you.
I love you too.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. That was stupid.
Yeah, it's okay though. It wasn't stupid. I mean, we did, you know, it happened. Sometimes you overshare on the podcast. We scrapped the whole episode because of this one time. So
Yeah.
I was like talking about like death and shit and all these, this is fucking gnarly ass shit.
We kind of started to do that this episode too. Sorry to anybody we vibe killed in the first like 20 minutes.
Well, we couldn't predict like a lightning strike fucking showering down from the power lines after a car accident right behind us.
Thank God that person was okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. That was like, visually was like horrifying.
Yeah, I was really expecting to see something horrible when we drove by.
Yeah, well, you know, driving is not a joke, man. You gotta, you know,
Honestly,
gotta be safe.
After a year of car casting, the first accident we've been privy to, or part of.
Well, we weren't part of it. We just witnessed it.
But we haven't been part of one.
Right. Anyway. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
But you know what I think I realized while we were talking that I said I was going to say on the podcast and I didn't say to you yet?
What?
But I think we made a mistake with the plan for this episode.
Oh, I disagree.
I think that this was a bad idea. I don't think that we should continue this
No. I want to continue.
You think we should keep reviewing the episodes?
Yeah. I think this is a weird learning experience, and it feels kind of like reading a diary, which I didn't expect. But knowing that, I think we should continue.
Oh, I was going to say, let's just not do this. Let's just move on because this is making us feel terrible.
If you feel like that, then that's fine. There's a beard hair in my corn. I just ate it.
Well, I was eating the corn
Oh
like
my
without
God.
a fork, like just drinking the corn. So that might be my beard hair.
Okay, I'm gonna just decide that it was your beard hair and be cool with it.
I wonder if there's anybody that listens to this that happens to not like have seen us and like doesn't know what we look like.
Oh my god, draw fan art of us.
That'd be
Please.
really funny.
I would start crying.
Have you ever like seen a podcast host for the first time without having ever seen them before? Like a photo of them and you're just like, oh my God.
No, though, you know what? I think that we should continue it because I think something that is coming to light for me is that I know we're still pretty vulnerable on the podcast and we talk about a lot of emotional stuff, but I do it now with more of an understanding of what I'm okay with sharing. The first few episodes, I was just saying whatever because I wasn't used to having a platform like that. Not that we have a huge platform right now, but like I'm not a public facing person usually, except for my art, and that's very ambiguous and not verbal.
You're pretty anonymous too. I mean, you operate under a moniker.
Yeah, and that's where my comfort zone is. Like like you said, when we first started doing the podcast, actually you said that off the air, but I like quit like 3 times and like had a bunch of meltdowns about it.
You shut the whole thing down one time.
Yeah.
You like really quit one time.
Well, I got somebody talk shit to me about something that I said on the air, and I just felt really exposed.
Yeah, that's whack.
Yeah, it was. But I think since then, I've kind of... Like, I know what I'm comfortable sharing now. And it's not necessarily something that's more or less intimate from an outside perspective, but I know what I'm willing to accept criticism on. Like, if someone wants to make fun of me for sweating when I'm anxious, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, fuck you. But I don't necessarily want feedback on, like, my intimate relationships or, like, the way that I see the world. You know what I mean? Actually, you can shit on me for the way I see the world. I don't care. That's not new.
Nah, honestly, anybody with criticisms can go fuck themselves.
Like, yeah, but
like,
I'm still gonna cry
shut
about
the
it.
Fuck up. Go fuck yourself.
True, but
don't
I'm
even
still
fucking
gonna
comment.
cry about it. I'm gonna have a panic attack quietly in my room.
Don't comment. Don't DM. Just shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna make fun of you on my Instagram story, but I'm gonna want to die later.
No, I love you.
So, I didn't have any barometer for that at the time.
Yeah, and I think what I was saying in response to that was, like, I think I wasn't really understanding it in the beginning either. Like, I think I was kind of, like, a little bit, like, why do you... Like, in my head, I was kind of like, what the hell is going on with this? Because I, like I just said, like, have more experience, like, embarrassing myself with video... Like, I feel like that's such a stupid way to say that, how I just said it. It made sense in the previous context. I tried to recreate it. It didn't sound good. But I've been like, since I was like 17, have been making horrible YouTube videos, terrible content, terrible music, and just like putting it online with no regard and getting made fun of, or like people thinking I'm stupid or hearing about people talking shit about me behind my back because I'm a dumbass. And I feel way more desensitized to that now.
Yeah.
Where if somebody doesn't like what I do, I mean, you know, maybe it would affect me, but like, I do what I do now with the complete understanding that might happen.
Yeah.
And I don't care. Like, I don't cringe as much as I used to at myself when before, like, you know, it was literally mortifying to learn that, like, holy shit, I am a literal cringe factory. Like, I am a cringe compilation creator, basically. But it's only me in the videos.
Oh.
Yeah, anyway, but so I think that when we started doing this, I was confused because I think I realized how badly I used to feel like that by witnessing by doing, like, us experiencing this together. I kind of relived it in my head.
I think in that one specific incident, the person who said that to me was somebody who was in a uniquely close position to me.
Definitely be careful.
I don't fucking care.
You're gonna overshare and
I'm not gonna say who it is, but okay. No, I don't give a fuck because that person was being really mean. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. I can't get more specific and vague than that. But yeah, it was hard. Just, it hit me really personally, and I was literally ashamed. Not because of anything that I said, but I just felt like I was, like, being inauthentic because I felt uncomfortable doing it in the first place. But really, the discomfort I was feeling in the beginning was, it was a new thing. I was putting myself out there, and this person just kind of hit me in the gut. So that specifically, I felt really embarrassed. But I don't typically feel like that about it. I just don't, like, there are certain things that I just don't feel like I have any kind of desire to give to the public. Like, I don't really need some random listener from TikTok, as kind as they may be, to know XYZ thing about me. But there's also other stuff that I feel completely fine sharing, and that's, like, public domain. But I'm just kind of more of a private person about actually emotionally intimate things, I think.
Yeah.
With some exceptions. We talk about our relationship a lot, but like we usually talk about it once we've sorted it already.
You know what's funny is we completely cut out the part where we talked about our relationship.
Oh.
So you just added new context.
Oh, no.
That's what we were saying. Anyway,
you want to listen to episode 4?
And I think, well, to add more to that a little bit, like,
yeah.
the idea that you felt inauthentic and felt clunky and like you didn't know what you're doing, I felt the same way, and not just talking about you. Is because
Really?
looking back, we weren't being authentic at all.
We sounded so stupid.
Like, so, I don't know if this is like, I'm going to try to maneuver this without being divulging too much.
Just say it. If we have to retape, it's okay.
Well, no, like, I mean, so for example, something that I've done in the past on a number of occasions has been interviewed by somebody doing public access TV. I'm not even talking about your personal connection to that, but in my past.
Okay.
Many times I've been on someone's fucking TV show or someone's fucking podcast or something, and it's always, in my experience, a fucking train wreck.
Yeah.
And you talk like, you're like, well, you know, when I first started making art, like, I am an oil painter, and like, you know, like, my name is, hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Brian Huntress, and like, do you hear how I'm talking? Like, do you hear that?
Yeah.
It sucks. It sucks. You feel horrible. You feel like a clown. You know what, like, when you, I don't know.
Yeah.
But when you just like,
It's so
hey, what's up, everybody? Dude, like, that's how you, like, and that's how we were talking. That's how we were in the beginning.
Yes.
I don't know how to describe it. It's like, I
we
can't
talked
think of
about
a
this
good
a few
word for
episodes
it.
ago because
Did
we
we?
stopped doing it for a while. Then we got rusty and we started doing it again. It's podcast voice. We were calling it before.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Oh.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Hit the button down below, link in bio. Subscribe to my Patreon. I am a fucking... loser.
You know what as everybody knows, I'm just kidding, actually. Well, okay.
Hey guys, as you may know, I have a Patreon.
Well, you know what that reminded me of, though, is something I actually saw last night, where for some reason I watched like 50 TikToks deep on Logan Paul's TikTok, which is like weird of me. But he posted this one like weeks ago where the whole video was just him in present day saying in full earnest the intro he used to do on his YouTube channel from when he had his Japan crisis.
Oh my god.
And it was so weird because he doesn't make YouTube anymore at all.
Yeah.
Like, he just is retired or something. But it was just, everybody in the comments was like, ugh! Like, what the fuck? Like, and like, it was just really fun because he did it in a for the nostalgia.
Yeah.
But it was just like, oh my god, because he's been done. Like, he just does a podcast now, but he's been done for like a long time. But it was very like, it's been a long time since I've weirdly brought up Logan Paul on the podcast.
I was gonna say, I forgot that you had like a hyperfixation with Logan Paul for
That's
like 4
not
months.
That's not true. I don't have a hyperfixation
for like
on
4
Logan
months
Paul.
over the summer. You were
Okay.
really fucking obsessed with Logan Paul.
I feel a deep need to explain myself right now.
I'm not attacking you. It just actually happened.
One of my favorite types of celebrities, I think the only type of celebrity that I really love to follow are people who are just public chaos machines.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, some good examples, Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports. The guy is just a fucking nightmare person. Like, he's just always scandals, stupid shit. Like, I don't know. I just like psycho scandal people.
Yeah.
And I follow them all, and like, I don't know, whatever. I love people like that.
I love you.
I don't know why
I do
it's so
too.
interesting.
It's fun.
It's really interesting.
It's very fun.
To like, actually, because like the new thing now is that all of the, anyway, oh, it's funny. Oh, she's nice.
Friend request.
Yeah, that's okay. You got a friend request from my aunt.
Cute. I love
Yeah,
that.
whatever. Yeah, accept it. She's cool.
Um,
Old people on Facebook.
Oh my god, don't call her old.
No.
You just throw the word old around so recklessly.
You want to have this fucking argument?
We're gonna fight?
We're gonna fucking fight about this.
You wanna fucking go? Wow, I remember saying that. Hey, let's finish doing the thing.
I don't even want to anymore.
Why? Is it because the next episode is Brian Huntress?
Oh my god, you want to talk about oversharing on my... So this is in the beginning. So did we do my episode or did we do Kat Trinidad first?
You.
We did me. So this is a point in time where we decided to start interviewing people, right?
Yeah.
And we decided that we would do an episode where we solely focused on my fucking journey as an artist. Oh, Jesus Christ, or whatever the fuck that means. And then we were going to do one where we focus solely on you, which we did try to make.
Yeah.
I wonder if I have that audio file anymore or if I deleted that. That would be so fucking funny if I had it so we could, like, privately listen to it, obviously. But that one, you want to, like, I literally was, like, whatever, I don't know.
I thought it was a really good episode. I remember thinking that you did a great job.
I would literally talked for like 30 minutes about being hospitalized.
Should we not do
and
a
like
random
basically
listen?
being arrested in my house.
Should we not do a random jump into that episode?
No, it's public.
All right,
it's fucking on Spotify.
Right, ready? Let's jump into the middle.
More when it counts.
Oh,
God, the fucking ads.
Face.
Okay.
So do you
his
feel
body.
that you do that?
Yeah, and like and maybe I'm not like promoting specific ideas and concepts, but like, you know, if I draw a face and it looks like some like weird, sad, like morose, like creepy thing, and it makes you feel like that, that's like the point.
Yeah.
It's not like a portrait of a guy that looks like that at all.
It's almost more of a portrait of that emotion.
It's a portrait of that feeling, yeah. So you could even be considered a still life.
Interesting.
Like a visceral.
Whoa, I'm so smart and cool. Do it more interesting, but that isn't that interesting. That's just me
okay.
talking about drawing,
Well, that's kind of the point, right?
I guess.
Back when our podcast was about art.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely true.
Yeah, you
'Cause
gotta-
it's like, if you're making art for the sake of making art, you can't fail. But if you're making art for the sake of selling it, there's definitely poor decisions.
That was something we talked
Yeah,
about every
and you
episode.
gotta account. One of them
feel
was a detox,
No.
which was people who were brand new, who were freshly
Oh, I'm
off
talking
the
about
street.
my old job.
People, the first place was people who needed to be to that time or that feeling. Or she did a really long and very in-depth, good, like really, you know, it was very. She gave it a lot and thought about it a lot, and it was really cool to see someone break down the deck like that.
Yeah.
There was a lot
the
of
tarot
reviews,
card
but
review.
that was
I don't want to
probably
fucking listen to this anymore. Fuck that one. Anyway, let's move on.
I think it was a good episode.
Let's get to the good part.
Good intro to Brian.
I just wanted to
content.
talk about the guests that we interviewed for this episode.
So now we're at
This
the
is
good
a
part.
disaster.
Kat Danielle Trinidad. That's episode 5, I believe.
Yeah, let's play a little bit of that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right.
Dude, I think we might have bit off more than we can chew with this segment. Anyway,
review?
Yeah,
Why?
we're like almost an hour in.
Fuck it. Who cares?
Alright.
We did a 3-hour episode about making cookies last week.
Yeah, but that was different.
on art, but like, would you say somebody starting out, like, would you? What am I trying to say? Help me out here. Like,
I think I know what you mean. Like, is it essential?
yeah,
Wait, hold on. Let me go back.
What the hell did I ask?
Yeah.
I think
agree with
both
that.
are definitely very difficult in their own right, and both are really beautiful as well. You know, I think even the way that we understand ourselves, and like you talking about animes and different cartoons growing up watching those, like we understand ourselves through stories, whether they're true or not. You know, so.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you were doing with that, the triptych you're talking about. Like, that was a character, but it was representational of you and how you were feeling at the time, right?
Yes. Yeah. It was. I was just. I was going through some family issues where I felt I had to speak my truth and tell my family that they were mentally abusing me over the years.
Yeah.
And it was that turning point that I was like, okay, I don't want to feel that anymore, you know?
Yeah.
And those are what the flowers represent, you know, because your parents and your family, they kind of plant the seeds within you, you know, to see you grow and to help you grow. But the way that they were going about it is what made it so toxic for me and how I viewed myself. So that's why the flowers themselves look really creepy.
Yeah.
Because you assume that they're there to help you, they love you, but you know, sometimes the things that they do to you isn't always so helpful like you think it is.
That was a really cool interview.
Wow.
That piece that she's talking about in that segment is the thumbnail for the episode. If you wanted to check it out, you can see it right there, or check out Kat's Instagram, which is in the description of the episode as well.
How do you know Kat?
We were friends way before the podcast. We've been friends for a couple years, and we used to work together at a job in Boston at the Museum of Fine Arts.
You know what's something that we've said so many times but we've never done?
What?
Is like talking about having people back
Yeah.
on the show.
Yeah.
We haven't yet, have we?
We have not. Well, the thing is, we have a really long list of, like, probably over 100 people that we wanted to talk to. And sorting through all of that took a lot longer than it did in my imagination. So we've not only, it's a lot of people, and it's pretty exciting for it to have been a year, but we've only talked to 19 people. So I feel like I'm more likely to talk to someone else that's on our list of people that we know, the huge pool of people we're lucky enough to know and be able to talk to, or somebody new that we haven't met yet, than somebody that we've already talked to, just because I want to put feelers out as far as I can. Everybody that we've interviewed, though, I would love to talk to again.
It's true. Who's next? I'm sorry. I have to pee wicked bad.
I can tell. Do you want to go pee?
Where?
I don't know. Pause.
I don't want to pause. Fine. Okay, so I peed. We talked for a minute. This segment and this night is murdering me, and I'm dying. It's not the podcast's fault. It's not your fault, Theo. It's no one's fault, but I'm just fucking fizzling out and dying like a dead star in the sky.
I'm proud of you for acknowledging your limits.
I'm having some anxiety. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Because we're also I don't think we even mentioned this at all this whole time, but we're going to go on a mini hiatus. An actual one where we're just not going to post for a week or two. No episodes for a week or 2 or 3, maybe.
Yep.
And we're going to pick up the second season.
Because the thing is, as much as we love this project, because we really do, it can be really difficult to make new episodes that are really, like, diving deep, like, real genuine reflections on our lives and everything that's going on, and recording them, editing them, and turning them around every week. Because that means that we're working on the podcast most days of the week. At least you are.
Yeah, and your time doesn't come easy right now.
I work like 50 hours a week right now.
Right. Yeah, like we gotta and we were saying this before we even recorded tonight, but we're fucking and it's free time that we have together, we're spending in meaningful ways that are more important than the fucking podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, we were gonna record last night, but it was my grandmother's birthday. And
yeah, that's objectively more important than the podcast.
Yeah. And we were going to record earlier this week, but
life happens.
Life happens.
So we're going to shut this bitch down for a little bit.
And make room for life for a little bit. So
Breathe.
we can come back to this with the fervor that we started it with. Is that the right word? Fervor?
I like it.
Okay. Enthusiasm.
I mean, this is a good fucking show. This legitimately is a good fucking podcast, and we fucking kill it, and we're doing really good. And we've fucking killed it in 2021.
We really did.
We took a shit on this year.
We aren't finishing our greatest hit segment, not because it isn't fun, but because it's time for us to eat ice cream and watch Endgame.
Yeah, we're doing an MCU watch through. Theo has seen all of it, but I have not seen any of it.
We're almost done.
So
we're almost to phase.
I'm gonna watch.
Phase.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch Avengers Endgame for the first time tonight. So that'll be cool.
It's a pretty exciting thing.
Oh my god, guys! One thing that I really wanted to say, above all else, which is why I wanted to do this segment where we talk about every episode, is that I am infinitely grateful, happy, and excited that we got to meet every single person that we interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone that we interviewed and everyone that we had on the show was fucking amazing. Like, actually, you know what? Pull up the list. Would you do that real quick?
The list of guests?
Well, let's look at the fucking episodes right now. And let's thank every single one of them that we didn't get to.
All right.
So, Kat Trinidad, that was fucking amazing. Trevor Sullivan, we shout you out every episode, but that fucking episode was fun as shit to record.
It really was.
That was fucking awesome.
That was a really good one.
That was amazing. Frankie Simons, that episode.
That episode was so cool.
That episode was fucking bizarre and amazing and funny and illuminating. And I think that you are the type of person in the most amazing way that likes to shock people. And I like to think I'm not easily shocked, but I think you did shock me. And I love that. And it's a testament to your artistic skill. Mm-hmm. You're amazing.
I agree with that. Also noted, special note on that one is Frankie's the first person that we interviewed who we didn't know beforehand personally.
Not at all. Yeah, that's true.
I think I was Facebook friends with Frankie. I don't even know how. Probably from like the Boston art world.
Well, they're just, Frankie, they're a Boston art fixture, born and raised in the city, and is a active contributor to the scene, and writes amazing articles and shit for who do they write for?
The Hassle, I think.
Boston Hassle and probably other places. So Frankie, MVP as fuck, and an amazing episode.
Yeah.
So shout out. Thank you for being on the show.
Black Market Therapy.
Black Market Therapy with Joel Mongian and motherfucking Matt Minigal was a dope ass episode. It was mad
really
fun.
Cool. That was our longest one at the time. 2 hours, 17 minutes.
Yeah, it was really fun because I literally could not even tell you what the fuck we talked about on that episode.
We talked about everything.
But it was amazing because I do listen to the Black Market Therapy pretty often, and I love the type of thing that they talk about. And honestly, and like, so even though that was a good episode, I think it's a fun idea to just shout out Black Market Therapy in general, because I always find myself meditating on and thinking about and reflecting on the things I hear on the Black Market Therapy podcast randomly,
Yeah.
There was a few weeks where I actually listened to a bunch of episodes while I skated when I lived in Austin.
That's cool.
Where I would just be at the skate park listening to Joel talk about like lit scripture while skateboarding. So that was weird, but it was very informative.
That was a really fun one. That was the first time that I spoke with Joel or Matt too. So that was kind of cool.
Hell yeah.
Nice to meet you guys.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Black Market Therapy.
Yeah. Scrolling through a bunch of episodes right now that are not interviews. Lily Faye, Trap Phone Fairy. Lily's fucking sick. I really liked that interview because I knew Lily already. Lily at that point had tattooed me. I'd seen a bunch of her artwork. I'd hung out with her a couple times.
I look at that tattoo every day.
I love that tattoo.
I always look at it on your arm.
Oh, thanks.
I look at your tattoos a lot.
Thank you. I have a lot of them.
I just look at them and I'm like, nice.
Doodles on me.
Yeah, I like them all. I love all your tattoos. I think
tattoos are a really fun way to collect art from people whose careers I want to support.
Yeah, if anybody has never seen Theo, what you actually look like, because this is a podcast.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
You have mad tattoos.
I think I currently have 18 of them.
You have
16,
you have like almost basically a half sleeve and a half leg sleeve.
I want to do
which
an
to me
asymmetrical double. I want to do 2 sleeves, one on my leg and one on my arm, that are, but only, it's my left arm and my right leg.
Hell yeah.
That's it. And then maybe when I'm done, I'll get like a head tattoo.
That would be so fucking sick.
I want one, but I want it to be like,
you just really want to make your grandma cry.
She oddly, well, when I got my first tattoo, she was like, "Why'd you do that?"
Oh,
but then
no.
She was fine with it. She thought it was cute because it was a really little one. It was the size of like a dime on my ankle.
Oh yeah.
And then my next tattoo was like a big fat one on my shin, and she was like, "Why did you do that? What about your wedding?" And then she's never said a thing since. And then the last time I got one, she said I was looking sharp. So anyway, Lily, I think you're awesome. I wanted to interview Lily because we had such a great conversation when she was tattooing me about tattoo and collecting art and the experience of buying art from an artist who's going to tattoo it onto your body and how that's different from purchasing a commission from somebody. So we talked about that a little bit, but I also learned a fuck ton about Lily during that interview. Tons of different things I didn't even know happened to her or that she did. and it was just really inspiring.
And Lily is an inscrutable person in a very interesting way. Like, just very...
full of surprises.
Very full of interesting and unique surprises.
Yeah.
So if you
and
want...
pretty cool insight.
Very wonderful insight. So definitely listen to that episode if you have not.
And then Joe Tavares, or Robo Jobot.
Robo motherfucking Jobot is one of my favorite people that I follow on Instagram.
That was a cool fucking interview.
He's very... So one thing that's... So Joe is a very good or very interesting abstract artist. But one thing, like a superpower that this fucking guy has is his marketing.
Yeah, that's true.
Which you can find out in that interview that he has like a professional and educational background in.
Mm-hmm.
But just his videos that he puts online, like he has this like kind of tech brand that he he's very, he posted this video recently where a robot is following around his studio. Like he's drawing a picture and a robot brings him a marker and he takes it from the robot and then keeps drawing.
Wait, really? That's sick. That's so cool.
It's that robot that he had in his studio.
Oh, like the one he invented?
Yeah.
That's also a thing. He's a roboticist.
Yeah, he's also a
sick.
fucking robot guy. He's a fucking interesting guy. So
at the time
shout out Joe Tavares. Thank you for being on the show.
At the time that we interviewed him, he had a studio in SOA. And we got to go to that studio and interview him in his own setting, which that I think was circumstantial. He invited us to come to the studio for the interview, and it seemed like a good place as any. But it was actually awesome because we got to look at his work and see actual examples right in front of us while he was talking of his style and his progression, and be in his own space, kind of picture the way that his day-to-day was when he was making. And it set a tone for us going forward, where now we try to meet artists in their studios because that was such a pleasant experience.
Yeah, that was actually very transformative. That's a good point.
Yeah, we learned a lot from that interview, I think. And another example of an interview where we didn't know the person beforehand. I think you met Joe at an open studio at SOA. Yep,
exactly, the first Friday. And Joe was really impactful to me and you, too, because he is from such a radically different background and, like, artistic, like viewpoint and practice than us, too.
Yeah.
Which was, like, really fucking, like, it was like we left that interview and got in the car with our fucking minds blown.
Yeah.
Like, and we had such a great conversation after. Like, it was just very, very, very perspective changing.
Yeah.
So.
And something that I will say, too, that's pretty cool is, like, I feel like there's a thing, I don't even know, but I feel like a lot of people think that you can't be, like, a math person or a marketing person or a science person and be a painter and be a philosopher and be a poet, whatever the fuck. And I feel like he is a really cool example of somebody who is very skilled on both ends of that supposed binary. Like, that is not a thing, and I really like RoboJobot for that, because he doesn't try in his marketing, in his public image, in his art, to hide the fact that he is a science and business-oriented person. It's one of his attributes, it's one part of his skill set, and he embraces that and then folds it into his painting, which I think is really cool.
Hell yeah. And one other thing about him, too, is that one thing I really respect about him that I don't do enough, that a lot of people don't do enough, is that he educates himself, pinpoints an inspiration and a source from which he wants to draw energy from, and then tells everybody what that source of information is.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's so cool, because a lot of people are afraid to do that, where they'll be inspired by this or whatever, and then they, like, just make something and are quiet about it. But he's like, I made this piece inspired by this, and, like, just,
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
I think that's awesome, because a lot of people will say that they aren't derivative of anything. Like, derivative is such a dirty word.
It is,
but
isn't
it shouldn't be. Like, I mean, derivative has a negative connotation where there's, like, no creativity or something involved.
Right.
But who the fuck gets good at art without doing some kind of study on somebody, or master copies, or reading autobiographies, or, like, studying people's portfolios? Like, there is nobody that doesn't do that. Everybody had, like, fucking, you go through the list of the greats, Picasso, Basquiat, Frida Kahlo, like, everybody has those eras, and you pull from these artists who are in museums, people who have made it already, quote, air quotes, to find your own visual language. And I think that it's cool to see somebody just openly saying that they're doing that, because I know that there are people that do. We happen to know a couple people that do, but I think it's very important to actually be upfront about that, because then other people can learn alongside with you and really see what you're doing and actually see how cool the learning process that you're going through is, versus you kind of shamefully pretending that that's not happening. So I really appreciated that too.
Yeah. Shout out to Joe Tavares, RoboJobot.
Fuck yeah,
The
5
man,
stars.
the myth, the legend.
And then we have Eddie Vargas, better known as Keep Kids Off the Street.
Bro, a fucking legend. Keep
Fuck
kids off
yes.
the street. We love to
We love
see
you,
it.
Eddie.
Well, yeah, and to say a few things about him is like, if you didn't hear that episode, this man is he is a dude that supports skateboarding community and youth people in an extremely direct and an effective way, like more effective than many people I have known that call themselves activists.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even think he understands that. Like, he's just, this dude has gotten skate parks built, or maybe just one skate park. Like, his son, his children are skateboarders, and I'm like babbling like an idiot right now, but I don't know. All in all, this dude photographs people that don't normally get photographed and depicts them in a friendly and interesting and cool way. And these are people that may not always be depicted like that.
And he's a really good photographer, just technically speaking.
Yeah,
his work is really beautiful.
That's true.
He's really good at getting a kind of... I don't even know how to put this, but I feel like he's a street photographer. He takes photos of people primarily at Lynch Skate Park, usually skateboarders or people that are around that area. So there's people in these photos that if you hang out down there, you know them, you see them around, and you'll see them skating or hanging out or whatever, or there might be people you know, and they look a certain way or present themselves a certain way on Instagram or online or in person. But in the photos, everybody looks just more natural, I guess you would say. Like, the photo that he took of us, we're just, like, completely smiling. We look so comfortable. You would never know that it was, like, you wouldn't even know it was a posed photo, probably.
Like, it's, like, actually how we look.
Yeah. And I feel like yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Is, like, people put up this front of, like, looking however they want to look, like, cool or sexy or, like, good at what they're doing or, like, just looking sick on a skateboard or whatever.
Yeah.
And Eddie gets these photos of people where they look like people enjoying something that they love to do. Or somebody that's part of a community hanging out with their friends.
Hell yeah.
Like, there's just this inner child beaming through everybody's face in these pictures. And not in a way where I'm minimizing these people, but just where it seems like they're just genuinely vibing. And I really love it because it makes you happy looking at these photos. And they're a really cool archive of the people that are there right now.
Hell yeah. Shout out Keep Kids Off the Street.
Chris O'Grady.
Chris O'Grady.
We love Chris O'Grady.
Friend of the podcast. Hell yeah. Shouts out. Also, if you're interested, Chris recently started a band called Chris OG and the Dopaminis.
Yeah.
So, hell yeah, Chris. Congratulations on your new band. It was wonderful having you on the show. That was an awesome episode.
It really was. Yeah. That was a fun one.
Yeah. Beep beep boop bop, beep boop bop, boop bop, boop boop bop, beep boop. Wait, sorry. Am I distracted? I'm distracted.
A little bit.
My bad.
Diana Stellan.
Diana Stellan. That was literally a bizarre... Like, so, Diana, wonderful, amazing, extraordinary artist and a very interesting person. Mm-hmm. But that was literally fucking bizarre, that interview.
Yeah,
because
in a good way.
In such a good way, because she came from a background and an education that was so far beyond my scope of knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, this woman is like a professional arts educator, you know, with work in the Venice Biennial, literally runs a real art school in Boston and managed a, like, Newbury Street art gallery for, what'd she say, like 15 years or something?
Yeah.
20 years or some shit. And she just sat down to fucking talk to us, and, like, we didn't even understand who we were, what type of person we were interviewing.
It was really cool. Also, the only interview that we've done so far where someone's agent got us in touch with the person.
That was so cool, man.
I really don't know if she expected us to be what we were when we got there, because we just, as soon as we sat down, we were just like, what? Like, tell me about how this works. And she was so cool about it, and she explained all of it. The interview was fucking awesome. Full transparency, I guess it's fine if she hears this, but we went in the elevator, and we were both just walking out of the interview, and we're like, thank you so much, thank you so much. And we're walking down the hallway, like, shh, don't say anything. We got in the elevator, we were like, what the fuck? That was so cool.
Yeah, she was fucking badass, dude. And, like, honestly, because she's a really interesting person, because one thing that's really cool about her is there's a ton of parallels to her and a ton of other artists that we know and see every day, where she's this wonderful painter, she's an arts educator, and she sells her work and is in building her shit, and she has a clothing line.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody is doing. Everybody does that, but like she's just doing it her own way, man. And like a really, really unique and cool way that is definitely, blew my mind. Mm-hmm. So shout out Diana Stellan.
Raya fucking Watson. And
Craig. That episode was so fucking weird.
I was, was I drunk for that episode?
Yeah, you might have been. I think you might have had a couple drinks. I don't know if you were like
actually
drunk.
No, I wasn't drinking. He was drinking.
Oh, Craig was definitely fucking drunk as fuck.
I sounded like an idiot on that episode because I was high.
That was such a journey. That was such a good episode.
It was a good episode. It was a long one. It's a 3-hour episode. We were just vibing. We're playing Zumbinis. We're talking about art.
I love Raya.
I love Raya too.
Wow.
We haven't hung out with Raya since that episode. That was in August.
Damn, really?
Yeah. What the fuck?
Shit. Wow. Yeah, we gotta rectify that.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Raya. Thank you for being on the show. We love you, and we want to have you back on with an episode that's more focused on you and your experience, as we discussed. But also, shout out to Craig. Thanks for coming on, man.
I still don't know what your last name was.
I don't know.
But I know a lot about you.
Yeah, I loved hearing
about. We had a really intimate conversation going. I don't know if you know that you were on this podcast. We told you, but I don't know if you remember.
The best was the split where I was just like, me
and Raya are talking about college. We're like jumping up and down on the stairs, like talking about Osiris sneakers and like do everything's fun. And you guys are talking about like fucking like
death,
Twin Towers falling,
Iraq,
changing the history of punk.
That's just what he brought up, man.
Dude, I didn't know that's what you talked about until the episode was already live. I listened to it at work like a few days later, and I was like, I wonder what Brian and Craig talked about. I was like, what the fuck? What the literal fuck?
I love that. That was a wonderful experience, and I'm very grateful that Craig was so open and down to be on the show. Thank you for being on the show, Craig. That was really cool.
I think I just really enjoyed the fact that you were obviously like stone cold sober, and he was
as always
wasted, talking about such deeply personal and borderline political things.
Hey,
it was
whatever,
really
man.
entertaining to listen to. I really liked that.
I'm glad. I'm glad that you feel that way. It was very fun.
Panapa.
Oh, yeah, Panapa. That was such a wonderful interview because Panapa also was an artist that I would consider to be, like, totally out of our scope.
Yeah.
Like, way above, like, because she is involved with, I forget what the acronym stands for specifically, but they're called the AC/DC, which is a arts organization in Boston that essentially creates or seeks out opportunities for Asian artists living in Boston.
Yeah.
And so Panampa's story, and the reason that we were hit up about that is because she was, I guess you would say, hired to do this like fucking massive mural in Chinatown.
At 79 Essex Street.
Yeah, and it was this like gigantic, beautiful, like fucking dragon with like all types of different characters and details. And she is like a fucking really good painter. And that was really illuminating too, because Panapa is extremely active with different and really interesting conceptual projects revolving around her visual art.
She's a landscape architect, and she's talking to us about a bunch of different projects that she was affiliated with, including, I think she said that she did an internship where she studied the layout of why am I spacing on it right now? The cemetery.
Mount Auburn.
Yes, Mount Auburn.
In Cambridge.
And how the graves look so sprawling. Like you would walk through there and think that maybe, like it looks like it's manicured, but it doesn't look like the graves are sprawling intentionally, but there actually is a reason for that, which she talks about in the episode, which I thought was, stuff like that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, we touched on a lot of stuff with that one. That was a pretty cool thing.
Thank you so much for being on the show. That was fucking awesome. You're amazing. Your mural was so fucking cool, and I will be looking out for all of the amazing projects that you will probably be putting out.
Yeah.
So
that was
shouts
also
out.
Our only street interview. We were literally on the sidewalk.
We were on the street. That was really cool because like there was just people just popping in.
Yeah, coming up to us and being like, "Hey, you made this mural?" And she was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, she was like a little celebrity in that neighborhood too, because all the people that lived around the building, she said, got really familiar with her too, and were really excited about the art. So that was...
And while we were there, a model and photographer showed up and started doing a photo shoot in front of the mural.
I totally forgot about that.
And they were like, wait a minute, you're the person who painted this? And she was like, yeah. And they were like super excited. And it was really cool. Yeah, that was awesome. That was a really cool interview.
Hell yeah.
Lauren Cavalcante.
Dude, Lauren was such a fucking good interview. That was so surprising too, because first off, we hadn't interviewed a printmaker.
That's true.
So that was pretty cool, just, you know, for the roster to have a printmaker on the show. Printmaker on the show. But yeah, Lauren Cavalcante, amazing interview, amazing person. I'm just gonna pretend like I didn't just pause the recording and jump back in. Was that smooth? Anyway.
Yeah, that was good. That one was really cool because I met Lauren initially because they sent us I think they sent us an application on our little...
On the forum?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, oh, wow, that's really neat. And then I realized that we had a mutual friend on Facebook that was one of my very good friends from Boston. And it turns out that Lauren, they work with one of my best friend's boyfriends.
Oh, yeah.
So...
What a wild coincidence.
Yeah, so they recommended that we hang out with them. So we did. We met in a park, and we were kind of nervous it was going to be really awkward, but then it was just sick. It was fucking awesome the whole time. We hit it off really well, not just on an artistic level, but on a personal level, and the winter happened, and I didn't do anything with anyone for months, but we do intend to hang out.
Yeah, Lauren, they were incredibly social, friendly, and provided some absolutely inspiring insights.
Yeah.
So thank you for being on the show, Lauren.
And they also were one of the first people who brought artwork with them to show us, which was really cool because we got the kind of tactile experience of handling the blocks and then the prints.
For sure. Hell yeah. Thank you, Lauren.
Yeah. Sarah Gurin.
Yo, shout out Sarah Gurin, resident bootmaker.
That was so fucking cool.
Of the show. That was
an awesome interview.
That was also very transformative in a very profound way because Sarah had listened to a lot of the show before, or was a fan of the show.
Yeah.
Or something, or however you would say. And we didn't really know that, and that's like whatever, regardless. But like, I don't know what I'm kind of like babbling, but it was just so fucking cool to just arrive and see this beautiful studio and to interview with a person who it was almost like she already knew us. Yeah. In a way, so that was just really cool.
I feel like you're tiptoeing around saying this, so I'm just gonna fucking say it.
I'm tiptoeing, maybe. Yeah.
I thought that was crazy. I thought that was nuts that we had a fan.
That she
like
liked
somebody
the show.
Who just I feel like saying fan is condescending because that's not what I mean. Like
right.
Sarah also, maybe more important than what I'm saying right now. Fucking phenomenal artist.
Amazing.
Her work was incredible. She had I want you to listen to the episode. I want you to look at the content that we posted about her work and look at her
the
Instagram.
razor blade boot.
Yes. Really cool conceptually and also just execution wise. Like her boots, a pair of her boots, they're completely handmade from the sole to the leatherwork, everything, and fully drafted and designed on her own in a 10-footer studio that is on her property. Which I didn't even know what a 10-footer was before we met Sarah. That is also a deeply historical thing. That her husband and her husband built that studio on her property. Like, so, totally DIY. So fucking cool. So, the pair of boots that you could buy from her are fully handmade and take about 1.5 years to make, I think she said.
Yeah.
Like, very, very, very intense work. Super high level of craftsmanship. So interesting. And also, just on top of that, completely fucking mind-blowing that this person was so excited about our podcast and wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Like, that was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
In a way where it just, like, really surprised me. Because as we were talking about earlier, I have never really done a public-facing project before. I'm not used to meeting people who are familiar with me in any way. It's never happened to me before. So we actually had this thing happen where we were driving there. And she told us that she was going to, because we met her in her studio, have lemonade for us because she didn't want us to be too hot on the drive. Yeah. And I was like, I wonder how she knows that we're going to be hot because my air conditioner was broken. And I talked about it on the podcast a bunch of times. Like, I think I actually almost fainted during the episode with Trevor because we were in the car on the highway. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to fucking pass out. I'm so hot.
Just fucking like,
and she was
microwaving ourselves.
She was like, did you fix your air conditioner yet? And I was like, how the fuck do you know that? And she was like, because you talk about it every episode. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. So that was weird in the coolest way. So I really appreciated that. It was a super flattering thing, and honestly gave me a lot of confidence that I don't think I had before that interview. So that was really
Very
cool.
true. Shout out Sarah Gurin. Thank you for being on the show.
Also, thank you for talking to us about artist grants too, because we didn't know what the fuck was up with
Very
those.
educational.
We still kind of don't. But
also, shout out to Panapa for educating us a lot with grants. So yeah.
Both of them.
Oh my God, so beautiful. Such amazing interviews. Thank you guys for being on the show. Thank you, Sarah. That was wonderful.
Zachary Enos.
Zachary,
Not so basic mistake.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much for being on the show. That was fucking cool too, because Zach is the only drag performer we have had on the show.
That's true.
Which is like a really fucking important and badass genre of performance and universe, especially in Boston too. Like there's a massive drag and burlesque scene here that is like a really serious force in the community. So
yeah, pretty cool conversation about queer identity too.
Yeah,
which I think actually we skimmed over this when we were talking earlier about other people, but we have had a couple of other queer people on the podcast. Yeah, which has been cool. But that one we really dived into it with the gender identity, drag, how artistry ties into identity. Also to be noted, only fiber artist that we have interviewed.
That's true. Is that true? Yeah, that's true,
so.
Isn't it? Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Thank you. Yeah, what a fucking beautiful time. I feel like I should acknowledge that during that interview, I happened to be basically dead because I hadn't really slept good at all, and I hadn't eaten or drank coffee, and jumped into that interview within like an hour of waking up, which I'm not really proud of. I wish I had more energy. And I wish I had more mental strength during that time, like, which made me feel like I, wasn't like my best interviewer self, which makes me feel disappointed in myself. But regardless of that, having Zachary on the podcast was an honor, and it was a fucking wonderful interview.
Yeah, I think so too. I also think you're being a little hard on yourself right now. I think that it was a really good interview. I think it ended a little bit abruptly, which I do feel kind of bad about, and we're gonna have Zachary back if he'll have us.
Thank you so. That was a wonderful interview, Zach. Thank you for being on the show. That was beautiful. We love you. Hell yeah! Shouts out.
And so next we have Joe Ledoux.
Hell yeah! Joe Ledoux was literally another one of those. We went in blind. We didn't know Joe. Yeah. We hadn't met him before. We were like familiarized ourselves with his work and what he did, obviously, because why would we just not do that before the interview? But
we actually did have a recommendation from Frankie.
Shout out to Frankie. Thank you for setting us up with that. But yeah, talking to Joe was really illuminating because we had no idea what to expect. We didn't really know what we were walking into, but we were surprised by a wellspring of brand new information and a perspective on archetypes and magic performance and different like spiritual principles that I thought were so fucking badass and that stayed with me for like months after that interview.
I still think about that all the time.
Yeah, same. Really that was honestly like an honor to have his information and his perspective on the show.
Yeah.
So thank you, Joe.
And he sent us copies of his zine, Seance, and they were really, really cool.
That's fucking amazing. Yeah,
I really like them, and you can probably still get a copy of them if you wanted to from Joe.
I bet you could if you DM Joe. And you know what? I'm just realizing now, I was about to not say anything, but I literally never got mine from you.
Oh my God, really? I didn't give it to you?
You didn't give it to me.
Oh my God, it's in my room. I'll give it to you.
I need it. I need to look.
You do.
Thank you.
It was so good.
I
read it.
So fucking much, Joe. For being on the show and for giving us your time and your insights and your knowledge. It was fucking awesome.
And another Joe, the next episode that we have is Joe Polena.
Oh my God. Thank you, Joe. The other Joe Polena, was unbelievably charming. Our first primarily comedian to be on the show.
Yeah.
Our only New York artist.
That's true.
To be on the show, even though he is originally from Boston. He is
originally from Rockland.
My hometown.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to have Joe on the podcast and to talk comedy and travel and psychology and car accidents as well. So that was a wonderful time, and we were really honored to have Joe on the show.
That was a really fun one.
So thank you for coming on.
Amanda Smith.
Amanda Smith was another person who, we didn't know her, but another person who really was a wildly different perspective that I did not anticipate.
Oh, I thought you were going to say she was recommended by somebody, and I was like, really?
Oh, no. She was so fucking cool to talk to because, like... So, I guess what I was thinking when we... Actually, I need a second to form my thoughts. Were you about to say something?
Well, I was going to say that she is an abstract expressionist, which is pretty cool because we have... Well, actually, I guess Joe Tavares is also an abstract expressionist. He's an abstractionist, at least. But she does abstract expressionist artwork. And she has a series that she's doing right now that is abstraction with elements of digital screenshots and quarantine headlines, which is pretty cool. That was the first project that we were familiar with of hers. And then when we went to her house, she showed us a whole bunch of other things, was talking to us about her artistic process. She was a really cool storyteller. I felt really engaged with the stuff that she was saying, and it was really interesting to learn more about her. And we did learn more about her. We found out that she's also an astrologer. Which sorry, I just fucking... Is that the right word?
Astrologist.
Is that what you were questioning?
I literally...
I was going to say astronomer, and I was like,
I was going to correct you, but then I backed out, but not fast enough. So
yeah,
it was
I caught
obvious.
it.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Sorry. I don't know.
No, that was a really fun interview.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, so thank you so much for being on the show. Amanda was such a strong personality and speaker, and a really was it's like one of our favorite things is to talk to somebody from a completely fucking different background.
Yeah.
Than from us, and Amanda came from this had this really interesting story in life and background that was also extremely educational and inspiring.
Well, Amanda's another really cool example, like I was saying about Joe, somebody whose background is in, I think she said it was in business, was her initial college major.
Oh, Joe Tavares.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she did study business.
Yeah, which I think is really cool. Because a lot of that background, she was saying, it helped her, having a background in business and sales helps her market her work now as an artist. So I love seeing artists that do that kind of break down this stereotype of that an artist has to be struggling, committed to their craft, only focuses on philosophy.
Right.
There's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to being a creative entrepreneur, and a big emphasis on the word entrepreneur.
Hell yeah.
So having that kind of business mindset and having this extra skill set of things that are kind of more, I know business isn't STEM, but you know what I mean, like mathematics, that kind of thing that people seem to think are so distinctly separate. I love seeing artists marry that and kind of rile against that stereotype.
Hell yeah, dude. Business background people are always so confident too.
I love that.
They're always such just looking you in the eyes.
Fuck yeah.
Sitting up straight and shit. Anyway, whatever.
And that's it.
That's all the guests?
That's our most recent interview.
Wow.
I thought there was more.
I was about to be like, all right, who's next?
Well, who is next, motherfuckers?
Who is next? Yeah.
The reason for that is because we had an interview that was scheduled, and then my car broke down the day of it, and I had a mental breakdown and had to junk my car and buy a new car with no plan or savings.
Oh my god.
So
yeah.
I
that
accidentally...
was the most stressful week.
It was horrible. Also, my cat was sick. So I accidentally ghosted that interview, but we're going to come back for this person.
Bro, yeah. So for all of our dedicated listeners, we love you guys. This has been literally the fucking best year ever. And we're taking a small hiatus. We're going to take a couple weeks off and just let go and just stop worrying about fucking bullshit analytics and worrying that we're going to lose our momentum by taking a break.
So that we
Fuck
can
all
come
that
back
shit.
better than ever.
We're going to come back
also,
better
you're
than
lying.
ever.
You're still going to be worried about that when we come back.
Oh, I'm going to be real worried about it.
Yeah, you're going to be worried about it the whole break.
Yeah. It's so funny. I care so much about analytics and views for somebody who doesn't have that many analytics or views.
Not true.
Anyway, sorry.
Mr. fucking 90,000 followers on TikTok.
That's like having 50 followers.
Okay, cool. I have 150 followers on TikTok.
Well, you have a more private user. I'm saying whatever. If you put
If I studied my analytics?
No.
Brian?
No. If you wanted to, you could build that account. You know how. You absolutely could.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I love you.
I choose not to.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
I was putting you on the spot. That was the whole thing I was
Well, you know how to market on social media just as much as anybody. That's what my point was.
I know more than most people.
That's also true, actually. That's a better point.
So, fuck you.
I love you.
Me too.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Love you guys. See you later. Bye.
Love you guys. See you.
Next Tuesday.
No. Oh,
no.
Yeah, so we'll record again soon.
All right. Bye.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.